Hi, I'm Adam Brooks Weber. This is the Merry Mystic, and I'm glad you're here. I was reminded this month of an epiphany that I had when I was in junior high school. I was about 13 years old. I was by myself in my room, and I'd been standing in front of a full-length mirror looking at myself for a long time, with the usual angst and dissatisfaction. And I don't exactly remember the thought process that led up to it, but I remember experiencing a sudden insight and saying these words, "I speak for the joy of being alive." I remember having a healthy laugh at myself in the mirror. It was a strange thing for a constitutionally shy worrier and introvert to say and to feel. It felt like a new motto, like a calling, although I had no idea what that meant or how to respond to it. In the following months, I wrote a play called The Joy of Being Alive. It wasn't really very joyful as I remember it. It was rather cerebral, reflecting the plays by Sartre and Camus that I had been reading. But it was an attempt by my 13-year-old self to answer that unexpected call. I think I'm answering it a little better today. It's only been, 40 years? I guess that makes me a pretty slow learner. Anyway, thinking about all this, I wrote a poem, and I'd like to share it with you. It's called The Rime of the Ancient Magi. Rime of the Ancient Magi. Now I must speak, but let me warn you, I'm not going to make all that much sense. I can speak the truth or I can make sense, but not both at once. So if the rest of this merry and mystical missive doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. It's not that there's anything wrong with you. It's not because you're so slow and I'm so wise. It's because I'm actually just a little touched in the head by what I've seen, and it makes me prone to babble. Or maybe I should say, I'm a little touched in the heart, with a little door there that doesn't close all the way, and sometimes the wind blows through it. And it's blowing now, and I must speak. I speak for the joy of being alive, for the ever-upspringing one, for the Lord, the Lady, the Child, the Spirit Friend. Called, though inadequate to the task, I have no choice but to. So unlikely a messenger, so inward, so shy, so solemn, and I ask, why me, Lord? But no answer follows, and still I can't pretend not to be called to speak for the joy, the joy, the joy. Oh, my beloved friends, if I could, I would bear you up to hear the magic spinning song, to see the face of one who loves you, to feel what sky dancers feel in their feet, to breathe in the scent that takes you back wordlessly, to taste, to incorporate the cordial of heaven. But instead I must speak. It is this I am called to speak for, though ill-equipped, I know. Oh, I have plenty of speech, and the wit to use it, and the ego, certainly. But the whole thing blazes with futility. To speak is to use words, and words have no traction here. But here I go, anyway. In spite of, everything. In spite of full feeling all the suffering in the world, in spite of loving unrequited, on and on, still, the Lord, the Lady, the Child, the Spirit Friend is here, right now with us, the joyful power, ever upspringing. Imagine in a crowded disharmony, in an orchestra at war with itself, the touch of a master musician on all the tuning pegs at once, the touch of the Lord, the Lady, the Child, the Spirit Friend, the Master of Music, ever up-tuning. Imagine In a desert place, in a lifeless place, where the bones of old hopes dry to a mockery, the Lord, the Lady, the Child, the Spirit Friend speaks the word, and the work of the word is greenness, and the bones spring together, and the waters spring forth, and the waters of life are ever upgreening. This is what they saw, the Magi, in that song-echoing, star-reflecting stable. And this is what they said to themselves all that long journey home by another way. How could anyone render this into words? As well use a theorem about a bucket to draw water, as well plant a diagram of a seed. But they knew they had to speak, and so they said, "Look, we must warn you, we're not going to make all that much sense. We can speak the truth or we can make sense, but not both at once. So if what we say doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. It's not that there's anything wrong with you. It's not because you're so slow and we're so wise. It's because we're actually just a little touched in the head by what we've seen, and it makes us prone to babble. Or maybe we should say, we're a little touched in the heart, with a little door there that doesn't close all the way, and sometimes the wind blows through it, and it's blowing now, and we must speak. We speak for the joy of being alive, for the ever-upspringing one, for the Lord, the Lady, the Child, the Spirit Friend, whom we have seen, and who, having been seen, must and cannot be spoken. Thanks for listening today. Hey, if you're watching this video anywhere but on adambrooksweber.com, please go over there. You can sign up to receive the Merry Mystic every week, and you can post your thoughts there. I look forward to hearing from you. Let's make God smile this week. Bye now.